2025, my favorite perfumes released so far. We're already well through this year coming into the fall, but there's been so many great ones. I wanted to do a video I hadn't done yet this year. So I'm gonna give you my top 10 fragrances released in 2025 coming up next. Welcome back, everybody, to JoelTheNose, and here I am at Osme Perfumery in Miami. Hope everyone's having a great day. And today's video, as I said at the outset, is going to be my top 10, and this was tough. I was literally cutting this down. I had 12, and I was going to do 12. I'm like, I want to keep it at 10. There's a lot of great releases this year. A lot of new perfumes have hit the market. Here we are. We're now in August. Okay, so we're a good 3/4 of the way through the year almost. And like I said, I wanted to do, okay, my favorite that have just caught my attention and really stood out among all the wonderful releases. And let's get right into it. I'm gonna go number 10 from Bottega, the Victorious. This is Opal. And Opal is a really unique classic Bottega fragrance where there's just tons of notes: coffee, saffron, geranium, rose. It's got some green elements into it, bergamot. So this is a fragrance, again, just exudes luxury, like almost all Bottegas that I've ever smelled. Just have that, as I did a video a few weeks ago, ultra niche. This is in that upper ultra niche category. So Opal comes in at number 10. Number 9, I'm gonna go with Impadia from BDK. And this, for me, was one of the ones that came out a little bit earlier in the year. I don't know, I think it was maybe February or March. And this was like, I think a really good, especially for women, I think this is an amazing fragrance. I wear it myself still, but it's got this just kind of effervescent, a little bit sweet, a little bit fruity element to it, and perfect for summer, so perfect still to be wearing this time of year. So I would go Impadia number 10. I'm sorry, number 9. Number 8, I'm gonna go with Castley, the newest from Parfums de Marly. And again, this fits in the trend of what a lot of their fragrances are, which is kind of this like fresher, lighter, I wouldn't call it necessarily a freshie, but the fragrances are bergamot. You have ginger, black pepper, petitgrain, neroli, akigali wood, which is like kind of an oudish type smell, labdamen. So yeah, this is, lots of citrus notes. Again, very good summer fragrance. And I've seen a lot of people talk about this online. I think it's done very well. I don't know the sales figures exactly, but I like it. This is, for me, was a good addition to their kind of freshy line that gets a little bit darker than some of their others. I think that akigali wood labdamen base benzoin gives it a little bit darker quality for me than some of the other freshies. All right, let's go. That was number 8. Number 7 is Eau D'Azur. And this is from, of course, Veronique Gabai, her classic gold shiny bottles, which is an ode to her home of Paris, which are the colors of Paris. And this is, again, another wonderful summer fragrance. It's got neroli, it has lavender, cardamom, amber, olibanum. So, and I just pulled off the top. So let me, there, pulled off the top. So a little fragrance emergency. Yeah, I've worn this a bunch already this summer, and to me, she really does that, captures that essence of the south of France or Italy, the Mediterranean. Her fragrances, she has a lot of them that just completely capture the feeling of being on vacation in the Mediterranean during the summer. Maybe it's Italy, maybe it's Côte d'Azur, maybe it's, somewhere in maybe Monaco, but beautiful. All right, so now I'm gonna go, that was number 7. Let's go to number 6. And this is Vanille Carbone from Atelier Materi. One of the brands that really came onto my radar early this year. And I've made my way through this house with so many wonderful fragrances, but this is their newest. And if you are a fan of vanilla, this is a leather vanilla fragrance that doesn't smell like your typical vanilla. This is not your mom's vanilla or your girlfriend's vanilla. This is vanilla for a niche fan. And it's got this roundness, this juiciness to it that again, doesn't strike me as a normal vanilla fragrance. In fact, I think some people, when they smell it at first, may not even know this is a vanilla fragrance. You gotta really just let this one sit and absorb into your skin, and you will see the majesty of this house. So Vanille Carbone comes in at number 6. Number 5, and this is actually, I think, the newest release of this bunch, and it just came out, and it is Florentine Diamond from Tamine. Now, for those of you who don't know, Tamine has gone back to their original blue bottle classic designs. They've done a little bit of a shakeup in the organization, in the company, and going back to the basics of what really made them a fine niche house. In the last few years, they kind of went in different directions with some creative directors, and now they're going back to this. You know, they had the clear bottles, which I like the fragrances, pretty much all of them that came out, but I really, really preferred and fell in love with this house years ago. When I think about, if I come over here, I think about some of the fragrances like Carved Oud, Blue Heart, Peacock Throne, just amazing. So this, oh boy, it's just so interesting. I don't even know the notes on this, but I can tell you whatever it is, and I just smelled this in the last couple of days, it immediately jumped into one of my favorite releases of the year. So it's got a little bit of sweetness, it's got a little bit of clean quality to it, which maybe that's why I'm attracted to it, because I love that kind of almost soapy clean smell. And that's gonna be, I think, very popular. I think Tamine is gonna be back into being a major player in the niche world. Let's go now to number 4. From Ormond Jane, Vetiveria. Ooh, I love this. These my top 4, I love them all. Like, they're all for me, like way up here. But Vetiveria, love the bottle, love the smell. This is that, just, if you're not familiar, this is almost a re-release of Zizon, which was released like maybe 15, 20 years ago. Unfortunately, they had to discontinue it a couple years back because they could not source the original materials. And Linda Pilkington, who's the owner and creative director, is very serious about maintaining the integrity of her fragrances and the ingredients. And since she couldn't do that, but Zizon was such a great fragrance, it was one time my very first, I would call signature scent. I have a couple backup bottles because when I heard they were getting discontinued, I bought a couple. And this is an updated version. This is a little bit more modern version of Zizon, again, which came out like around 15 years ago or more. So this is, if you like that kind of masculine, fougere, green, not barbershop, but just, I think, classic, almost ode to those power perfumes of the 80s, that's one you gotta check out, Vetiveria. Number 3, here we go, top 3. Another new one, Isola Verde from Roja. You see me talk about this maybe in the last month or so. I've added it to my collection. I love it. It's green, it's citrus, but it's not a freshie in the way I would consider typical freshie. It's something almost how Roja does it, with just the most impeccable ingredients that screams like Modicea ultra niche. And I've been wearing this so much in the last couple of weeks, getting compliments, getting people noticing it. It's one that it just sits on my skin so well, especially in this hot weather. Great perfume for the summer. And I think this is gonna be one, it just smells like $1,000,000. It smells like when you step into the room, you're gonna make an impression wearing this. People are gonna say, that woman or that man wears expensive perfume, cologne, fragrance, whatever you wanna call it. Number 2, Lucius. Love Lucius. Lucius from Fragrance du Bois. Orange blossom, citrus, I think it's got pink pepper, it's got a little spiciness, and it's got the soapy quality from that orange blossom. I already mentioned before, I love that soapy quality, but then it's got this amber dry down, so it gets darker. I get I've seen some people talk about whether, you know, some of the fragrances don't last long. I get a good about 6 hours, which is perfect for me. I like a fragrance where I can put it on in the morning and then I can either reapply more later in the day, or I put on a whole nother perfume. I have so many perfumes that I've got to constantly switch out through the day. So this fragrance is one that gets me through all the beginning and middle part of the day, and it's just, you know, again, Fragrance Du Bois is a wonderful, wonderful house, and I think Lucius was one of their better releases in the last few years. And that's gonna leave me with my number one, maybe a surprise. Just came out in the last, I think, month or so. This is Muse. Muse. And what do I say about this? I mean, this is, I was looking at one of the other new ones from the house, and this is from Andrea Mack. And it's, if you're a fan of that genre of Herba Pura, God of Fire type smell, I will be honest, I think this is better than both of those. I have worn this 4 or 5 times now. It's hitting 10, 12 hours on my skin. It's got this very complex dry down going through all these different kind of fruity notes and then to more woody notes. So it gives it both masculine and feminine quality. It projects like a bomb. So if you like beast mode fragrances, and it's this is an extrait, so it's, you know, very highly concentrated perfume oils. If you like that and you like kind of that just beast mode bomb, but still smells elegant and beautiful and wonderful, you've got to check out Muse. I have not really heard people talking about it. You know, a lot of these other perfumes get hyped up. They're from bigger brands. They get a lot more, you know, TikTok videos or YouTube or Instagram. But these, you can see I've done a good mix of all different brands, lesser known and more popular. And I think if you try any of these, you're gonna find something in here that you really, really like. So let me know, guys, your thoughts. Do you have some of these? What are your thoughts on them? And let me know some of your top 10, or your, doesn't have to be 10, some of your favorite releases this year so far in 2025. I'll be back soon with another video. Thank you guys for watching so much. And remember, don't be a wimp, spray like a pimp.
You guys always smell great. Who do you trust for fragrance reviews?
JoelTheNose.
JoelTheNose.
JoelTheNose.